What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Spencer doing one more step-by-step combo tutorial this week. And this one's kind of, I think they call it based or something. It's like a Brave token Halq deck. That's really at the core of what it is. And there's also Red Rose stuff, which is a really neat package that I'll show off here. This is a really nuanced combo with a lot of like strange interactions. So really that's the whole point of doing this, because if you guys are new to step-by-step, basically, I find a combo from around the web. This one was from a DB Grinder video. The person ended up messing up in the combo like 2 different times. So I kind of corrected those. So this is kind of like the cleanest version of that combo. But if you want to watch the video where this came from, that'll be in the description of this video. But I just slowed these combos down a lot more for people who don't really understand what these cards do. I've never read them. So when someone says effective red rose, effective right, you're like, what? Wait, what a sec. What does that mean? That's the point of this video. Anyways, we'll go ahead and get started here. So the cool thing about this engine is, it's using Phantom Knights as a rank 3 engine. It's used as just a general Omni Negate for a lot of decks, but it can be used in so much other stuff too, especially synchro decks, which you'll see here. And Griffin's actually going to be used as like an extender, which is kind of wild. But in any case, so this card basically lets you summon out a token, and if you don't control a Fateful Adventure, you get to put one face up from your deck. So Fateful Adventure, face up in the deck. Now, you can normal summon Red Rose, which is going to trigger Journey of Destiny. During your main phase, you can add one monster, that mentions Adventure token from your deck to your hand, and send one card from your hand to the graveyard. But secondary effect here, if a monster is normal or special summon, you can take one equip spell that mentions Adventure token from its deck, either add it to your hand or equip it. So we're going to normal summon the Red Rose, which is going to trigger that effect. So we get to add this card here. It's called Dracoback, the Rideable Dragon. Basically, not important what this card does, so don't worry about it. At least not for this combo. And then we get to use the secondary effect, so we get to add a card to our hand, and then we have to discard one, which can be this Dracoback, which has a neat graveyard effect here. Basically saying if it's sent to the graveyard, you can target an adventure token you control, equip it to that target. That's what we're going to do. You can also chain Wandering Griffin. It's a quick effect. While you control an adventure token, you can shuffle, during your main phase, if you control no monsters or you control an adventure token, you can special summon this card from your hand. And then basically it's an Omni Negate, but we're actually not even going to use it as an Omni Negate. So we'll use that effect to summon this. We can use Chain Link too. You could have just started in a different Chain Link. It doesn't really matter, but yeah. So now we can go ahead and use the effect of the Magician Souls. It's really just used as, again, like the whole deck is just a bunch of extenders. That's kind of the whole point of it. The Illusion of Chaos did come out, so that card is illegal now, which is kind of neat. We get to special summon it. If you guys don't know what this card does, basically you get to Foolish Burial, I think it's a level 6 or higher spellcaster monster from deck to your hand. Then you can, send 2 spell cards from your hand or field to the graveyard to draw that many. So I'll show you in a second. Like, there is an opportunity for you to draw 2 cards, rip 2 cards. 2 fresh cards to your hand. You can send these because you actually, like I said, you're not using Griffin and this as an Omni Negate. You're just using this as a level 7 monster in just a moment. But I'm not going to use the draw effect for Magician Souls in this combo because I don't want to be like, oh, look at these 2 perfect draws. I don't really like to show combos like that. Like, this is the most basic form of it. But in any case, so that can come down. And then, yeah, if you can believe it, the Red Rose is a level 3. The Wandering is a level 7. That makes 10, obviously, for Baron to Floor, which is an Omni Negate. Also, there's a secondary effect, which is really cool, that we get to pop a card once per turn. Red Rose, when it's sent to the graveyard as sync material, lets you special summon a Red Rose monster from your deck or hand. So that's exactly what we're going to do. So from the deck, we're going to go ahead and special summon the Rocks Rose, which is also a level 3 tuner, which is really good that it's a tuner. But you get to add a card that specifically lists Black Rose Dragon in its text, and what that's going to end up being is none other than Basil Rose Shoot. Basically, just get to special summon one of these guys back from the graveyard. It's a quick effect, not too important. Okay, so then we can convert this Magician Souls into a Link 1 Relinquish Anima, which I know sounds really random, but it will come up later in the turn. We just need a Link monster in the graveyard. We can go ahead and, take that Relinquish Anima and the Rocks Rose Dragon, convert those into Christian Halqifibrax because it just needs a tuner, and a non-tuner can literally be anything, so this Link monster will do. This card basically special summons a level 3 or lower tuner from hand or deck, which is exactly what we're going to do. We can special summon another Red Rose Dragon from the deck. It's a level 3 tuner, which is most important. So if you didn't know that the token that was, sent out through in the original, or in the beginning, I should say, not the original, with the Rite of Amicia, I think that's how it's called, is a level 3. So let's just go into, Evil of the Yang Xing, our Yazi. So when this card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you get to special summon a Worm type monster from your deck in defense position. Baron can pop that, which is really crazy. Now, a lot of people go into Tai, but in this case, we're going to summon out a Mare. This is like one of the only cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! I think it may be the only card in Yu-Gi-Oh! That has a thrice per turn effect. You get to decrease its level 3 times and special summon a level 1 token, which is amazing for synchro summoning, obviously. So we can go ahead and use Mare's effect twice right now. Summon out 2 tokens. So this is it should be a level 5 basically. And then we can use the Basil Shoot, which is going to bring back the Red Rose Dragon. Now we can go into a Synchro for level 3 and the level 1 token, obviously. And to Cupid Pitch, this card's absolutely insane. In this case, we're going to go ahead and increase the level because we want to go into a Synchro 8 because that's a 7, the level 1 token, and go into a Borreload Savage Dragon. That's why we made that Relinquish Anima all that time ago, because now we have a Borrel counter on this to have a negate. It's already a 3,000 attack body, so obviously it's going to be very hard to get over anyways. So the attack boost isn't so important. And then when Cupid Bitch is sent to the graveyard, it lets you add a level 8 or lower monster from your deck as long as it has 600 defense, which of course the Creation Resonator does. It's a free special summon if you control a dragon synchro, which you do. And then you can, once more, for the thrice time, use Mare's effect to special summon with that token, bring out the Creation Resonator, and then convert those into a Herald of Arclight. Now that's 3 Omni Negates, which is always pretty cool, but there is one more level to this, which I'll show you. Assuming your opponent activates, anything of interest, you can go ahead and use the secondary effect of Halqifibrax, which yes, it does. Basically lets you summon any Synchro Tuner, which there's a billion of, targets, but really the number 10 is the sweet spot. Now, you could use the Herald Negate, or you could use something, I think, probably a little better since you already have 2 other Omni Negates. And keep in mind, you already have, 2 other cards in hand, and then you already drew 2 off of Magician's Soul, so you still have 4 cards in your hand, which could be hand traps of some sort. But this card's really cool. So Desert Lotus lets you Synchro Summon during your opponent's turn, but in addition, when it's Synchro Summoned, your opponent has to just discard a card. Now, they may have a good target for it, but having 1 less card in hand is usually a good thing because it's 1 less card to account for in most cases. And then, you can also Synchro Summon using the Herald and go into a Satellite Warrior. When it's Synchro Summon, you get to target cards your opponent controls up to the number of Synchro monsters in your graveyard, and you have a whole bunch of those. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can pop 4 cards, meaning pretty much you can account for every single card your opponent has, assuming that maybe they set 4 back row or something like that. But even then, you still have 2 of your Omni Negates here. So you could pop the whole field, essentially, is what I'm saying. And, that's going to do it. So that is the combo. Pretty wild. A lot of nuance because in the original combo, they had summoned out Shooting Quasar, which is a level 7. And they tried to send a level 1 monster to the graveyard to decrease its level to go into Satellite Warrior and Cannon. Did I say that right? Satellite Warrior? Yeah, it's just Satellite Warrior. But actually, Herald of Arclight doesn't send something to the graveyard. Cards from the main deck are then banished, so it doesn't decrease its level, so you can't go into it. So you have to go into that Desert Lotus in order to do that effect. But like I said, I think this card's even better, than the Shooting Quasar, personally. But yeah, that's the combo. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Other than that, that's going to do it for today's video, and I'll see you guys next time.